Hey everyone, welcome to the Azure Developer Community Allahabad. Today, uh, you whether you are a beginner or whatever background you have in Azure, so we will be covering up the session of all the Azure fundamentals, getting started with cloud computing. So, as you know, cloud computing is getting a giant shape in our today's technology. Whatever you are doing, like you are hosting a project or whatever you are doing, whether it may be IoT project or whether you are developing a web app. So uh, here is our speaker, Bishwash. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
Vishwas, and he is a fantastic person, and you can just Vishwas, like I cannot have that much word, so please introduce. He has given, look, guys, he has given so many uh, events and speakers as well. So we'll be also hosting some later events. So please, Vishwas.
yeah, sure. Let's just start with my journey. My journey started off by doing something which is very close to ML Ops. Like, it was my
Yeah.
journey. Like, I just started off with that. ML Ops is like ML plus
And
operations. So this is
yes.
what my journey started towards. Like this is where all the things about this nonsense that I'm talking about cloud started. Like, Hare Krishna, just say me one thing. Like, how did you enter the world of cloud? Like, how did you enter the world of cloud? Like, what was your first entry when you
Uh,
heard about the cloud?
for me, I was searching to host my portfolio. Basically,
Yeah,
my whatever the portfolio for resume or showcase my works. So I came to know about the cloud computing where we are able to launch like instance and run our web servers.
yeah.
Um Look, in our local host, we just run the local host and all. So it was not a big issue. So
Sure,
what about
that's
your
fine.
job? Yeah.
Yeah, it's all that journey that we had. It's a biggest, largest community which is just being building. So Azure
Yeah.
community, I just joined in and I was like, oh god, this is so great. That's what it is. So I think you guys can share my screen so that I can go on with my slide share.
Yeah.
So
Good
that would
afternoon,
be an awesome
Priyank.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just go ahead with my slides. Sorry for that. There's always that quick need that comes up for showing slides, right? So let me
Yeah.
just go on with this. So this is the journey of the cloud, right? First of
Mhm.
all, as you told, we do local hosting, but in a larger scale, you have connected a computer to one stupid computer which is just connected through some network. There is a network
Yeah.
interface card and everything. Then later we just move ahead, like we'll give an IP, we'll mask it through some DNS lookups and things like that. Then we'll have a shiny URL saying that, hey, we have this URL and things like that. That's what the journey of bare metal people used to be like. What you do on your local system used to happen on a global aspect, which is in such a way that everybody wanted to use their servers built in-house, and they started hosting that through some IPs, DNS lookups and things like that. Then everything got started. Then
A large.
later,
Yeah.
yeah, at the scale, they thought that, okay, हमारे पास बहुत है, but like, let's just, let me not just maintain everything, let it be some sort of an platform as a service or an infrastructure as a service that I'm talking here as virtual machine. We all have that need towards that, right? We need that next big thing to be in our company. We need not have to manage everything. So what
Yeah.
happened was that hunger just led to that virtual machine, and that virtual machine was so ineffective that entire compute instance was not effectively being used. And over a course of time, they improved it to containers. To be very frank with you, I can give you a quick intro about containers. Like, containers in Unix, what's a very old concept. Like, it's a very old concept. It's something like 1970s, maybe aa raha tha. From
Acha.
1970s, yeah. Like, this is what I'm saying. It's coming there from 1970s, but yet we started. started utilizing all these technologies a little later, right? That this is where the Docker come into the picture. The person who invented that Docker thing is Solomon
It was
Hikes.
yeah, Solomon Hikes. Yeah,
And
in 2000,
this guy is really amazing. 2013, yes, it came
yeah,
in 2013 and things like that.
2013 years.
But like everybody had their own perspectives, right? There was a new thing that was supposed to come up in the market.
Yeah,
They just named it as function as service and it's serverless. Like you don't have to maintain the reliability of all the softwares that you're writing in, but what you have to just take care is the time complexity and the space complexity and all these data structure and algorithm nonsense that we have today. Just get that
yeah,
cost of execution is what we are taking in, and everything is maintained by us. So now this is the timestamp for it. Before 2013, after 2013, it's a huge demand that we just created. Then later on, parallelly, we had some projects like Borg and Omega, which was there from Google itself. But now that turned into Kubernetes, and Kubernetes is just interacting with the Docker. Of course, they might
yeah,
have removed the Docker from the support of the Kubernetes, like, okay, this is not going to work for me and things like that. But any containers can be orchestrated using Kubernetes. So this is what a brief overview about the industry that I can give here. So let me just go to my board. So to me, I feel that banking system is one of the most machine critical system that you can think about, because you send an SMS, there's a blockage of that account. You send an SMS,
real
there is
time,
an activation of an account and things like that. So
real time processing and all.
yeah, that's always there, right? That's what we
Yeah,
wanted. So let's just see what's the need of it. So of course, every bank has their own URL in their thing. Like it can be www.azbank.com. And if you do a ping, let's just say, let me just go to my command prompt and let me just do a ping.
so
Ping.
I would like to uh, tell the audience that we have so much basic that you are giving a ping command also the overview of how we can check the.
Yeah.
So
This
please
is what,
be,
yeah, this is what,
yeah,
I'm just doing google.com. So see the magic of this entire thing. It's just an IP, right? Let me just
yeah,
show you the magic of it. Boom. I'm in the google.com. Right now I'm in google.com and it activated my SSL command. Look at that. It's the
yeah,
beauty of that entire internet infrastructure that we are talking today. Like it has end-to-end deployments to going on, and there is a lot of servers which are being utilized, and there is, of course, there is a huge demand that is coming up for the market. Like how can we make sure that we have so much of changes in the code at a one time, but our application will be up and running at every time. So this is
yeah,
where cloud comes into the picture. If you had everything on your premises, everything would have been nuts, by the way. So enough of this basic intro. Let's just go back to that entire thing and let's just do it. So it's a simple thing. We have this URL and we are just moving ahead. And of course, you have to store some things, right? You have to store something. And of course, there is always a need for you to realize that, hey,
data,
this has to be time stamped
yeah,
and this has to be automated. Like all the things that I'm talking here needs to be automated. So every time that I'm talking about something new here, there is some shiny little updates happening in your website that I'm talking here and things like that. So it's all being automated, it's all being time stamped. So there is always a bigger need for that organization to evolve. So this is what we required at the end of the day. So this was the cloud thing. So let's say what is the requirement for an URL. So there is a web app. So for storage, there is something called as databases. For I think time management, there are tools like Power BI.
oh,
There are tools like Excel. Yeah, you might say that, let me say you one thing, Hare Krishna. You write the state of the art neural network, you will be paid $30,000 a year. Like that's what you get when you go for your PhD. But
Amazing.
the guys who go and just show the results out there with the Power BI reports and Excel sheet, they get more money than what a deep learning scientist gets. Like in terms of PhD that I'm talking, of course, as a scientist you learn a lot. But automation, it's all through DevOps. So
DevOps.
what is
Yes.
DevOps? It's all just the developer, and there will be some project managers and the guys who does the operation. So they are the
Operation.
ops people. So it's that journey that we are going towards, right? So everything being automated, everything being tested, and things like that. So for an banking system, there is also an additional thing that is taken care in all these steps, that is security.
Security. Yes. It is the most.
It is the most important thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you think of all the things that we are talking here, let me just give you one more thing. So Sentinel in HashiCorp. So Sentinel is just an example of somebody
Yeah.
who is coming up with who is coming in as a soldier to your entire infrastructure that I'm talking here.
Yeah.
So
HashiCorp has
this
also. Yeah.
HashiCorp has all the services with Sentinel attached to it. It's just simple set of code that I'm talking here, and it does all the magic for you. It does all the magic for you. It just does all the secret management, everything. So this is
Yeah.
what I'm talking about. I don't know why my board is very bad today, but bear with me for the text. I do write amazing text, by the way. Yesterday I did one
Yeah.
as auto ML thing, but I don't know what's happening with my board today. I think probably I should change the tip or something. So we
Mm,
just got all that. So let me just give you that quick intro of all that system architecture that you're going through. Okay. So there will be a
okay.
user who comes out with some sort of an interaction with some mobile device, also PC, or else anything. So he has some mobile device, he has some PC, and everything will be connected. So all these connection will happen through an IP here. But at the end of the day, you can have a layer of WAF. So it's a different firewall and stuff like that. So it's always software defined IPs, and everything comes into the picture. And then
Yeah.
you have that entire infrastructure being accessed through the name. So this architecture is on the cloud premises. So the cloud does all the job, the cloud does all the magic. WAF also is lying on the cloud. There are
Yeah.
load balancers for it. There different services. So let's just look at on the Azure portal itself. I don't know why I am so bad in my board today. So it's
Yeah.
all there. It's all there. It's all there for us. So let me just
Can
go to the
can
Azure
you just
portal.
give a overview how can we get this Azure account and all?
Yeah, it's very simple. Go to Azure free tier.
Okay.
You will, sorry, not for the DigitalOcean. I don't know why, DigitalOcean is rocking the free tier thing. So that's why. So click on this button. So what you find this button, just click on it. You will be just
Redirected.
redirected to some other documentation where you're going for a free tier and the things, but I don't want to lose my subscription, so I'm just going here. So you just click on that, you'll be redirected to getting your free tier account done with your credit card, not a debit card. Okay. Then there is something called as GitHub Student Pack.
Yeah. We have a lot
In
of
this
student
GitHub
audience
Student
here.
Pack,
Yeah.
yeah, when you have too much of students and you have to exploit the way that you're being a student and you just want that, just go here, get all the opportunities there for you. So of course there is a lot of benefits for the web day virtual event kit. A lot of things comes here, so you guys
Amazing
can go
tools are
out.
there.
Yeah, like you get free tire on everything. Like you can work on the
Yes.
GitHub Enterprise as well, so you need not have to worry about it. So it's
Uh,
all there for you. Ardino, man, Ardino is getting, you get some discounts for everything. Like I can show you one. I think I showed it in my
these
HoloLens thing.
all these all premium features are available for free to the
For a
students.
student.
Yeah.
So make use of that ID card that they give for you. So don't worry about that. So in here, if you just log in, if you sign up, you have to show your ID card, everything. So everything will be
Yeah.
given to you. Then everything will be sorted. Then later on, there is an Edu Pack. So Azure student subscription. So
Yeah.
if you go for this Azure for student subscription, what you get is a free tier account, but you have to have your own what you say
Educational email ID.
educational email ID. It's something
Yeah.
like Vishwas Narayan dot some college. I don't remember my college. Sorry for that. I don't want to say my college today. At some
At our,
college
yeah.
dot
At
edu
our,
dot ac dot in slash edu or something. So this will be the kind of a URL that they will be expecting from you, and you
yeah.
guys can go check out anything.
I think in our most audience they don't have the email, so they you just
They can
you
go for
can,
the credit card one. So the free tier account is always there for you.
or
So
also
let me
the GitHub student developer pack. Also, they
student
provide
developer pack is also there.
yeah, they provide
Yeah,
$100 credit card.
yeah. That $100 credit is too much to learn first time. Don't run
Yeah,
virtual machines. That's it. Everything will be sorted for you. Got it.
yeah.
If you run virtual machines, the credit will go off like that. So let me just go ahead with the Azure portal. So that's the introduction for all the pricing and everything. So let's just do this, okay? So this is an Azure resource group. This
Hmm.
is nothing but an virtual repo for the services. Why I'm saying
Okay.
you this? It's just a virtual repo in which all the information about your services will be taken care here. Like, let me just
Yeah.
go ahead and create one Databricks. So Azure Databricks is an amazing service. Just go ahead and create it. I'll show you what happens in the backend. There'll be a
What
VM which will be procured. There will be a new sort of
what is
an
Databricks, like Azure Databricks?
it's just a platform where you're getting an introduction to all the Azure and all the platforms which is there, right? You're basically using Azure resources, and that Databricks is giving you an Spark instance. A Spark
Okay.
instance is required when you're doing huge amount of data processing. In data engineering field, Databricks, Spark, everything comes into the picture. So just
Okay.
a quick intro about how the services will be procured in the resource group. So now I've
Hmm.
created one resource group, clicking on it, typed something, new one, and I created it, and everything is sorted for me. And I typed in Vishwas Narayan, that's my workspace name. Boom. So even if you can see that, right, I just,
Hmm.
there is an Azure Active Directory which is connected, all the things is sorted for you, Spark and everything will be there. So now let me just review and create it, okay? So
Uh,
it's been validated and everything is there. So everything is getting created. So right now, this will be created in the back end. You can see that there is a
hmm.
new resource group which will pop up saying that hey, Vishwas Narayan is getting created. Uh, after some time, you'll see how that resource will also pop up inside. So you'll see
Yeah.
that there was a new resource group which is already created.
And new resource. Yeah.
So so if I click on it, there will be Azure Databricks. Of course, there is nothing created now. It's still in the deployment stage. But once it gets deployed, I will show you all the resources which is being coming up. So this is what a resource group is all about. So resource group is like an virtual repository which you have on the cloud. Once you,
Okay.
it's very easy to even maintain the subscription as well. You can delete that entire resource group, and all the services which requires a lot of money will be deleted directly, and you save some money. So this is the simple trick to
Means
make
this the charges for resource group are high in Azure. Like if you are getting $100 from
no, no,
student
no,
pack.
it's not like that. Resource group is free. Resource group is just a free thing, so you guys
Okay.
can go check it out. Resource group is just a virtual repository which will be there as your reference. And look at the beauty of another thing, like it's now deployment in progress, right? I think
Yeah.
there'll be one more resource group created for Databricks only. So see that the entire
Hmm.
infrastructure is now being created, right? So now there is a new resource group, even though that I didn't create. Look at that. I
Yeah.
didn't create anything, but
They
it
automatically.
automatically created and it's now connecting that. So see that how it will happen, because I just wanted to show you this demo, because this is the this is the finite detail that you require for the tomorrow's world. Like tomorrow, if you go to any company and if you are like, okay, I'm getting this error, that error, get just go back to some resource groups, just backtrack from all the things that you're doing, just see all the basics that you have done properly or not, then everything will be sorted. See that. So now
Okay.
there is an worker SD. So security group is created. There is a data store created, virtual network created, and if you can see the deployment in progress, there'll be Nick everything which will be created. Don't worry about that. So Nick everything will be created. I'll show you that as well. So different services. You want containers? I told containers, right?
Yeah.
Containers can be taken care here. So today morning, I think we had a session from IaaS. So container apps from Azure, which is a managed for all the serverless applications here. So you can use that. So container instances are there. Container registry is there, which is just like the Docker hub. But what's a Docker hub to a person who doesn't know what is it? So a container is a form of an package which comes into the picture. It just packages your entire code and everything will be in one form factor. I can show you my Docker hub, which is which was Narayan Docker hub. So if you can go that, so of
This is
course
a repo kind of thing where we
it's
can
a it's
store.
a it's kind of a GitHub repo only. You guys can
Mhm.
think it as a GitHub repo only. So see that which was Narayana Ari. So I have some repositories here. So
Too
you guys,
many
yeah, like I just
Docker images.
yeah, like I just create a lot of them. I just wanted to test some work. Will go ahead with it. So this is how it is. So Docker Hub is just the Docker registry that you're just containing here, and there are different services for that as well. So don't worry about that. So I think deployment succeeded, right? I think deployment succeeded. I can click on it. I can go to a new resource. It's very simple. I can go to a new resource and everything will be sorted here. So sign in and everything, it's now taken care by your Azure Active Directory. So Azure Active Directory is nothing but a security center for your entire subscription. You can allocate roles for different people. You can allocate roles for different aspects of the entire infrastructure that I'm talking here, and everything will be sorted. And this is what it is. So let me just go to this resource group, see how much of things have been coming up here. So there is an store created, vnet created, there is a security group which is already created. Everything is sorted for you, so you need not have to worry about like, hey, what should I do, what might go wrong and things like that. Everything is sorted for you, right? So if you log in, you go back to this and you get all the services there. So I would say like instead of going for an VM, I would say like just go for creating it. So creating a VM is very simple here. So you guys can see if you actually type a VM here, you get all the different services here. So you guys can go check out definitions and everything. And different services are also available. So deleted and attached VM and things like that will be there. So what that VM does is simple thing. It just has an IP and it has all the files that you want to deploy. When you click on that public IP will trigger all that application. So that's it. So now you have all these kinds of things. So let's just create one. Okay. Like I don't think so I can create one, but let's just think about it. Because my subscription doesn't support that. I think so. So let's say Vishwas. So there is an Azure Spot instance. I'll say what Spot instance is. You click on this Azure Spot instance, you'll be redirected to some services which are going to be much more useful for you to understand what is it going to be the pricing tier. Like as soon as you start working on it, it doesn't scale up to that extent. So you are just paying the meager amount. So let me just show you how this pricing works. So if I do that, so I think networking was not being supported. I think I still did a lot of SSH password and everything. So let me just do 443 and let me just review that. I don't think network should now be an issue right now. So see that you are just paying the least amount. You're just paying the least amount that you really wanted to pay here. So validation passed, but I think this was very bad because my subscription is different, right? So I can just create that and look at the beauty of not clicking on the spot instance. The pricing differs right now. It's 0.03, right? Now it will be a different one. So it's 0.1100. Like it's like basic thing, but you can really think about like
Hi. So my internet, I
So
had some internet issues.
yeah, not a problem. So if you download this private key will be available for you, and I can SSH into it and things like that. So SSH is very much easier.
Uh, so this key is like key to our instance, kind of.
Yep, it's a key to our instance. So there are different ways to deploy it as well. I'll even show you how to deploy it as well.
Okay.
So it's submitting the deployment. It will obviously take time because it's not my resource here. It's not like my global thing. It's like somebody else's. I'm paying him some money and I'm just accessing it, right? So it
It's like
it will obviously take.
yeah, it's like a launching a what like a computer or starting a computer on other locations from your internet.
Yes.
So this is what VM is here, virtual machine.
Yeah.
If someone is familiar with AWS or other, so there we have EC2 or other kind of.
Yeah. And there are different tires for it. Here also you have
Yeah.
different tires for it. Different VM in Azure. So if you can think about all the things, so there are different series for it, right? So there is D
Hmm.
series, A series, B
Okay.
series, E series, F, G, H, LMN series. N series is the best one because it's like the crazy amount of thing that you can do with
GPU
it.
and all.
It has support for Tesla architecture GPUs directly. So NVIDIA drives can be taken care. So you can see that, right? Here we have an Tesla
Tesla.
architecture which is given as in consideration. So all these things are sorted for you. So you need not have to worry about it. Like everything is sorted here.
So
So I
till now,
think
which series you have used? Like,
I've used
uh,
all the series. Don't worry. And also these are network region dependent also. So if you have one region and you want to connect it, it's impossible to connect like that only. Got it?
okay,
So it's a private key path and everything, right? So you can see that. Like let me just show you how. I just click on this connect button here
okay,
and I get hundreds of options here, like SSH, RDP, Bastion. I'll do all the things. RDP I can't do for your Linux; it's not supported. But you
it's
can
for Windows.
SSH.
I
It's for
yeah.
Windows only. For
Hmm.
Bastion, you can start working on it. So let me just do SSH. Let me just do copy this command. It's you need not have to go anywhere. So let me just paste it here, and let me just go to my downloads and copy that PIM file key. PM.
Okay, yeah.
So
The key
it's
to our
a copy
machine.
as path. Yes, the key to that machine is always there. So there are different ways to do that as well. So you can go to Putty and you can just do that. But I would say why to make sure makes that an horrible thing, right? You get everything free here.
Yeah. In Putty, it is easy to manage. I think so. Most people use
Yes,
that
most people use that, but
in connection losses. Yeah.
yeah, it's connecting. It of course it will take some time because it needs to authenticate and everything. And there are different ways to connect as well. So Bastion, if you use Bastion is a service which is just going to give you that secure location for your entire infrastructure. Somebody can hack into my system, download that key and everything. Oh, connection timed out. Okay. So that's not a problem. Partial might work. So let's see
Okay.
whether the partial might work. If it doesn't work, that's not a problem. You just do the same way of working. It just does that. So it's a partial here. So let me just do that. I think partial should work.
Font size is so small.
Yeah,
So if
I think I bloated
now
it up a little bit.
it's
So
perfect. Now
I think
perfect.
Azure user at 1109. So that's not a problem. I can use Bastion. I can show you the demo. I can do use Bastion. Earlier it was very chaotic, but now it's already click, creating a subnet and a click. There will be a Bastion which will be connected.
Okay.
So Azure Bastion as default. Yes, I want to create that Bastion. It's creating new Bastion as well. And I'll show you the reflection of this in the resource group as well. So let's see. All right, it's timed out and it doesn't affect me. So SSH. It's not affect. Oh, since I allowed only HTTPS
HTTP
traffic.
port. Okay, so
It's
the
443
firewall is
port, it doesn't come up. So firewall doesn't allow me to enter. Okay. So let me just create a new VM by the time the bastion is being created. And I think I can do that as well. Not an issue. I can create a new one. So let me just create a new one. Wait, which resource group was it? Its resource group is new one, which was group, right? I think I'll do one thing. I think Vishwas Narayan is here. So I can do one Vishwas Narayan. But it used to show me it's insecure, so that's why I just did that. But I can say one thing: allow SSH port. If you allow SSH port in the production, it will easy hack for me, so I can hack you at any
yeah,
given time. So that's not a problem to me.
the whole code will be
It's not the whole code. You will have access to whole machine, and some knucklehead can start mining a Bitcoin.
yeah.
So you don't want that knucklehead to enter your system, right? So let me just create that. So this is what the governance at the scale. So you have done your configurations right. You have everything in hand. If you have ruined your configuration, sorry for that. Can't help that. Can't help at any given point. And it can be only downloaded once. So you have to be very careful when you're downloading every sort of an deployment. So I think Bastion is created by now. I think it takes a lot of time. So by the time it creates, not an issue. I can go to a new portal and I can show you some other services. So I can show you the resource group, what happened in that resource group. So I think
Okay,
network resource RG got created all of the sudden. I didn't create any of the resource group, but it just created for me. So look at the beauty of it. There is an key which is already being created, which was Narayan key. This is an
yeah.
SSH key. I can download it, and this is the best part about resource groups. You get an access to all the things, and you can see that, right? There's
So,
an VM which is procured for that Databricks. So VM came into the picture,
so
and
like it's like if you are over with your project and you want to clear all the data and billing, so
yeah,
you can
you
just
can
delete
directly
the
clear it.
resource group.
Yeah, I think creation of the VM done. I think I can go connect it with the SSH here. That's not a problem. So it's very simple. Don't get too chaotic about it. So just go connect like me. So I'm the laziest guy that you can find on this entire planet Earth. So I think the new key is this one. So let me just copy it as the. So it's very simple. Copying thing is like hold the shift, right click on that. You will get this option called as copy as path. Click on that. It will be there for you, and
Okay,
you just have to do a little bit of jugaad here.
one shortcut here.
One
Right
shortcut
click and
here.
shift. Yeah.
I think yes, I want that connection to happen. See, now I allowed the 22 port to be running, and it's
Yeah.
already added, and it will now give me an access to an Azure machine. So to see that,
Yeah.
before it was in my local machine, now it's in my global machine. I do ls on my Windows, it doesn't work. I do ls, it works. Simple as that. So ping works, everything that you can do on a Linux system works here, as easy as possible. So you
So
need
we
not
have
have
a
to worry about it.
computer. We have a computer installed with Linux.
Yeah, like on a Windows system. So you can do all these jugaad for that access there, and then you are sorted. So
with
see
a
that,
high
yeah, with the highest
with
security as
a,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, with the highest security, I think it's created the VM, so that's not a problem. So let me just go back to that Vishwas thing. I think I need to connect through the Bastion. I think Bastion is created right now. Bastion is updating state. Please refresh the page and try again later. Okay, it's already connecting. So it's in the updating stage ka matlab it's now being deployed, but it's
Okay.
still now being updated for all these resources, right? So okay, even if it doesn't update, I showed you that you can access that system there. So let me just go to that resource group. So that resource group created all the things for this one,
Yeah.
and I think Vishwas group has this new VM which is connected. See that there is a bastion which is been added, VNet which is been added, key which is been added. Everything that you
Yeah.
require is in one place here. So you need not have to worry about it. So this is where your code comes into the picture, and you get your public IP. So let me just show you how to get that public IP as well. So you copy that, paste it here, you have an VM which is connecting to you. So
Okay,
it's
so
one of the
we
insecure ways to enter that system, but I would say it's one of the best ways that you can start out
here
right now.
also we need to allow the HTTP port, I think so.
Yeah,
Mm.
HTTP, SSH. It's HTTP traffic only, right? So I'm not
Yeah,
allowing anything. So it doesn't reach because it's being
we have.
public IP, and I'm not allowing any of that. If I allow TCP port, AT port, it will start working. So
Yeah,
this to me is like the kind of a security that I can work on. I think Bastion needs to work a little bit. I think it's been created, but I don't know why it's not coming. Oh, it's already there. So I
so
click on that. So let me just say Vishwas. Username is Vishwas and password is also Vishwas. Don't worry. You will not enter it at any cost. So I say connect here. A pop-up blocker is preventing the new windows from. Please allow pop-up or
okay,
re-entry.
so we are in incognito mode, I think so.
Yeah, a little bit of things has to be done because a lot of times,
You can just I think there we have cross symbol in URL bar.
yeah, that's there, but I can't enter like that. Connection
Mm-hmm.
setting is RDP and SSH, perfect. It's now taking care, but it's not allowing me to do that. But let's see what happens. Reload changes will be taken care. Allow pop-ups, it will not coming up, but that's fine. All right, you need, of course, you need things for that, which was
Password.
narayan2345 at gmail.com. So this is my password. If I connect to it, so pop-up blocked.
Okay, we
Allow,
need to
always allow the pop-ups. So
yeah.
yeah, I can allow that. So here you
Oh,
go. You have an online Bastion terminal. So I'll copy this because I'm lazy. So now it's connecting, right? So
yeah.
login failed.
Let's
So
check.
reconnect.
Let's
All right,
see.
okay, close. Oh, okay. SSH private key vault. This is too much of security, man. This is not my account, right? I can't do much here, but let's see. Connecting to Bastion host. Okay, it didn't connect, but it just gets connected. It will give you the same old command line scripting. It doesn't do much. Okay. So
Okay.
that's not a problem about here. So let's just do RDP. It's not RDP in the Linux VM. It's impossible.
So the base is here, like we can do all the things from our browser only. We need not to
Yeah.
switch out to our terminal and all.
Wait,
If
let's
you are
just do
using,
this. Let's just try this. Let's see whether this thing works. So I think
sure.
this should work for me because I'm not putting any of the misconnections here. So it didn't work. Not to worry about it. But this is the way you access all these systems, right? So
Mhm.
SSH and private key, you can allow a key vault to come in. A key vault is nothing but a repository where you can store an encrypted key, even if it's being compromised in some or the other way. It can be encrypted so that nobody else can get that key back once again. Like let's say it will be Azure Key Vault has its own encryption and it comes with that key, and
It's in,
only Azure system knows that what was the algorithm used for that encryption, right?
yeah.
And everything will be sorted. SSH private key, of course, I can do that, but why is it not getting connected? But it should connect. Bastion works for me sometimes, but I don't know why it's not working here. Let's see whether in that SSH one it will work as a Bastion thing.
Yeah. If
So
we
let's
allow
just
the
do.
port.
I have allowed the ports, right? It should obviously come to me.
Okay.
So of course Bastion is entered here. So let's just do Bastion. So let's just
So
connect Vishwas
in
and Vishwas.
till this, in
It
my
doesn't
early.
come. It doesn't come because I know why. Because in my subscription, Active Directory doesn't allow me to create any resources. I think that might be
Okay.
one of the reason here, but it's not a problem. You saw how the Linux terminal and everything
Yeah.
works. So this is what your virtual machines are. You can access virtual machines at any given point. You can have different services, but there will always be a point in your head like saying that how can I go cloud agnostic over a course of time. So containers are there. So let me just show you how the container instances work here. So what you saw in the container instances is just the same old way of understanding, okay, this is what we need. So let me just create a new resource group, new
Uh,
container.
like what is container? If you can just explain a bit.
Yeah, it's a way of packaging your entire code into the
Okay.
file systems with all the OS and the dependencies in your one package, which runs on
Okay.
any of the system. Like if I want to run on this Azure cloud, there might be different VMs and everything taken care. I'll show you
Mm-hmm.
how it works as well. So
Okay.
it's similar to what you did as a setting in your what do you call this?
Operating system.
Not in operating system, in your VM. What I did as a setting, I'm still using the resource group and everything,
Okay. Yeah.
but I am now naming it as Vishwas here. Container name
Okay.
will be Vishwas, and I want to use my Docker hub. And I know
Hmm.
my Docker hub as a repository called as Vishwas Narayana RE/Vishwas. So you guys can go check this out. So I type in that and I go to
So
google.com and I click on it. So it says me Docker hub. So Docker hub. Array, Docker is here. Docker hub is here. So that image is there. This is the
okay.
repository for that. You guys can go check it out. And
The
yes,
username should be the same which we have.
yeah. Sagar, you can make a free account with a student account, then you will not need. ये हमारा कॉलेज का है क्या लाइक या आई एम नॉट सर यू आर नॉट फ्रॉम आवर कॉलेज या आई एम नॉट फ्रॉम योर कॉलेज
These are guest speakers. So
yeah. Okay, no problem. Balmik Singh paid account. Yes, there are different ways to do that. Go for it. बाप रिच है तो उड़ा ले पैसा, क्या कर सकते हैं, पायलट बनाओ थोड़ा. Balmik Singh, when you create an account, you will get most of the services for free. Yes, of course, you will get most of the services for free. Priyank Sharma, is there a time period? Oh no, there is no time period of 1 year. It's only 2 or 3 months in that $100 credit. So afterwards, everything will be paid only. Like you will be paying it for sure. So that's what it is. Can't help it, man. No, I just added my Docker repository and I'm running it on Linux only because I want Linux to be there on my system. And you can change the sizes of it. Like you can change different sizes of CPUs that is required, memory that you're using. I don't want the GPU to be there, so I don't want the GPU. So let's just click on it. And it's a virtual core. The virtual CPUs that I'm talking here is virtual core, which will still have an access to some sort of an data center which is there out there somewhere down the line. So
we need.
region is north central US. So you can see that region is north central US here. So I think they came with that. Resource group is that resource group. Public, of course, it's public image that I'm taking care. And it does everything, right? That's the magic of this kind of a service. It does all the magic for you. You need not have to manually enter all the details here. It's there for you. And now you can think about the initialization. It's just going to initialize, and I'll show you how that IP will also be there. So what I did for that same old traffic wala stuff will happen here. So I think
Yeah.
Bastion didn't work. I don't know why, because in my account, Azure Active Directory doesn't allow that. But it got created in the resource groups here, right? It got created in the resource groups, but it's not allowing me to connect. That's probably because of that Bastion account which is there. And
Uh,
look at that. There is a disk
hmm,
space which is allocated. These are the
yeah.
virtual disks which are there on the cloud server somewhere down the line in some region. Let's say where is that region? So two successful deployments happened. One is the Bastion and the VM. So that's there. So I think if you click on that region, you will get to know, okay, where in which region it is working. It's in central US. Oh God, it's taking in that US. There's the data center out there, and I'm using that one. So everything
That's
about
very
your Azure is always there. So you can think of this as a story of a cloud. How are the services being created? And everything is there for you,
we
right?
need not to purchase anything well
Yeah.
physically or like
See,
1 TB
as
of
soon
hard
as
disk.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, as soon as the services got done, I can click on the go to resources button there, and I can. It has already been started. I can restart and stop this thing as well. So I can do this. Voila! You have the container deployed. You have it. So you can
So
go to my channel, Vishwas Narayan. Click on that. So you will be reaching to my channel. And I've created a lot of digital resources, by the way. Subscriber thoda
yeah,
bada do. I am very close to 1,000 subscribers.
just
So
check it out
subscribe to
and
my channel. So
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about. So you have a different set of services that you can really go and access to, and you need not have to have that mindset like, hey, I know only this thing, how can I not enter the different things? So it was very simple, right? I just containerized it and I'm just deploying it same as VM. I'm deploying it, so it's very similar to what VM was, right? I'm now deploying it globally as well. So after some days it will give me that SSL certification,
You
so
can
it will
just check
become
it out
secure
with the
as well.
IP address.
I will
Yeah.
remove this, okay? Don't worry. I'll remove this. So you guys can go check this IP, hit on it. Let's see how much of a graph will be coming up. So hit on it. So I'll see how much is the consumption
uh,
which is happening.
have a visit and take a look at
Let's
it.
see how much
So
of
what?
CPU is getting used and everything. So of course it has some timestamps which is already there. So it's like
So
we
which
have
was
say,
I would like to know what was there in Docker repository image. Like
yeah.
it was just a magic kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
it
which
has all the mass manifest files and everything. Okay, you don't get that thing packaged like that only. So it has all
yeah,
these kinds of codes. So you have to at the end of the write a Docker file like this. You have to
okay.
write a Docker file like this, which has all the libraries, packages, dependencies, which is being taken care from the Docker manifest
Mhm.
file. Then what it does is it just builds it. It just builds this kind of an repository like this. Like
Okay.
locally also you can build, but this is one of the repositories that I started building, and I pushing that to that repository there. So it's
Mhm.
always there for you. So I would say, like, YAML and JSON, you are supposed to learn, whether you learn Python, JavaScript, or anything, learn YAML properly, because this is the best thing to happen to you. So you get an access to entire infrastructure through some YAML
So
codes, right? So best
okay.
option, instead of learning Python and everything, learn JSON and YAML, zindagi set. So I think, yeah, I think CPU usage was given out. I think it should give me, okay, it's showing me there's some CPU usage. Memory has been 5 MBs of memory has been usaged. Network bytes, like how much of a transfer happened, and network bytes transmitted. Everything is being given to you, right? So at the end
Yeah.
of the day, you have an end-to-end deployments which are taken care into consideration, and you click on the side tags and you will get to know, okay, this is what my container was and I'm now running this. And if I now click on some restart or something, yes, I want to restart it, it will take some time to restart, and now it will
Will
be
the IP
updated.
will the IP
No,
change or after
no,
restarting?
this entire thing will remain the same.
Okay.
So it will always be there. So restart count, how many times it restarted and everything. So since it's still in the deployment stage, it will take time, but later on it will be there. So now you know that how can I really do a little bit of a work. But lately you should also realize that, hey, how many times did I restarted, how many times happened with all these kinds of fun things, right? You can see the graph changes right now. So
Yeah.
see, there is a memory utilization which changed. See, there was an instant spike which you just saw right now. Like, this is
Mm-hmm.
the beauty of it. This is the beauty of it. You can have a JSON view which will give you all the resources as well. So you need not have to do much here. So Azure biceps के लिए बहुत बहुत काम कर सकता है. So what is that Azure bicep? Azure bicep is nothing but you're just writing all these services in the form of the code and deploying it. And now see the magic of it. I click on the same IP here. Let's see what happens, because I've stopped the container, right?
Okay. So I think the web server will stop working and
Yeah, I think
all.
it's the same old IP. I think it's you guys can go start hitting it. But I think probably this might not work. This will not work, by the way. This will not work.
We have
Not because
stopped.
I've stopped it, right? It will not
Yeah.
work for sure. So let's see whether it can reach that server. It takes a lot of time. See, now instead of getting that click, it's not being able to reach, right? So now it's like it's not reachable. Now I click on it as a start, and it will start in a while. See the magic of it. It's
Yeah.
now being started, and now as soon as it gets started, let's see what
Website.
happens.
Our website is
Website will
now.
be up again. Yeah, website will
Yeah.
be up again. So I think the starting is happening, successfully stopped and everything. I think morning Yas did an amazing job. Yes, sir is an amazing person in the Microsoft Technical Trainers. He did amazing job there. So I
Okay.
think let me just show you one more thing. Let me just do you one more stuff. It's Azure Kubernetes Service. So AKS, right? You can't do that. So let me just do that. Kubernetes Service. Kubernetes Service is just for like if you get too much of an hits on the containers, right? It can't bear, right? But now when you create a cluster and you have some sort of an computation and everything taken care, you
So like
know,
this is like we launched a startup and we are hitting a like we are getting popular by the day. Or
yeah, like let's see, there is a DNS name attached to it, so your name has to be unique. I think Vishwas might be taken by some guys, or else nobody is Vishwas is creating a cluster. You can see that, right? Auto scaling, the lift and shift application, what we say is nothing but how
okay.
can the demand increase and how can we hit on it sometimes if everything is working fine and good. Everything is
The
taken care
traffic.
here. Yeah,
Okay.
like how you track it and everything. So you
Hmm.
can do manually as well, but auto scaling is always suggested, so it's always that. So there's no machine learning or anything here, it's just simple sense, common sense here that we are just doing. So it's now being created. Let me just show you how to access that as well, so you need not have to worry about it. So I think probably this IP should be hit by now because I've already started that service. I think Lakshit, sorry, not Lakshit, is that Hare Krishna. Just hit on that IP once, you will see whether it's working or not. So if
Mm.
it's working,
Yeah.
say me it's working. It's not, say me it's not working. So I think probably it's the problem with the demo that I'm creating. So I think new Bastion, everything was created, but it didn't come up. Oh, yeah, validation passed. Perfect. Let me just start creating it. So I think initializing the deployment, it's going to happen. But I'm going to show you how simple that Azure entire infrastructure is. So you guys can go to Google AKS, google.co.in, AKS demo.
Okay.
So run Kubernetes cluster on Azure Kubernetes cluster, Azure Kubernetes service. It's here. So you guys can go check out that documentation. You'll go to that. So documentation. Guys can click on this documentation and you will be going to how to deploy it in different portals, deploy the Elm and everything. So this is one of the simple application that you can build using the Kubernetes service itself.
This
So
is like a
easy,
Bible.
yeah.
The,
So let me just copy this command AKS get credentials and everything. So you have this partial directly built in. So you need not have to do everything on your local system, right? You guys can go and check out what is happening in the global system as well. So let me just do
okay.
this because it's very easy to do this kind of a deployment here.
Hmm.
So let me just create a resource group because I delete all my resource group, right? So it's obviously down there. So I think deployment happened. Let's just go ahead with it.
Then
I think the deployment didn't happen, I think so, or else the deployment happened. Let's see what happened here. So Kubernetes service is here. So I think it will be created in a very short span of time. So of course deployment is in progress. It's happening. It's happening. It will take some time to happen because it has to get all the Kubernetes files, right? So of course
yeah.
it will take some time for sure. So resource group is here. The cluster name I need to get it from that place itself. So it's very simple. AZ help if you type in, you will get all the things. So just type in AZ, you'll have this Azure
Documentation.
thing. So
Okay.
everything about how you have to deploy the services, everything will be given here. So how the
Manual.
cloud can be done and everything. So web app, how you manage the web apps, VM is there. Virtual machine scale sets is an advanced topic. Don't worry about that. Since this is an basic session, I'm not taking that as well. So that's not a problem for you guys. Just understand this. This is how we get that requirements moving in the world of AI and everything that we're talking here. This is what we get it. So it's a simple thing. We go from the documentation itself. So better way to start it. Like you will get to understand this YAML file. What's YAML file doing here? Everything is sorted. But if you want a quick intro of it, we'll take a complete session on Azure Kubernetes Service only. That's not a problem.
Yeah, in
So
February.
coming
Yeah,
in
in
coming
Feb.
times, we'll just Feb. I'm not free, bro. Till March, Feb 15th, I am actually not free. Afterwards, I can
Okay.
give you. I don't know why it's taking long time, but you can use this same documentation. If it doesn't work for me, I'll just do the same old thing. Like I can explain you on the documentation itself. So that's sorted from my side. So I don't know why. Sometimes AKS takes long time to deploy, man. Because it's a
Not.
huge file set, right? It's a huge file set, and we need to take care of all the things. So of
Mhm.
course, it
The
will take time for
mm,
deployment and everything.
all the
And
nodes
to,
and pods are being deployed. So
yeah, I think did that IP work for you?
not yet.
Not yet. Why? Arey, okay, bye. I think that IP should be working now because I redeployed it, right?
It's
It's
not.
the problem. It's the problem with containers sometimes. I don't know how to scale it and everything. So I am also very new to cloud. Sorry for that. I'm accepting that I'm very new to the cloud. So be
Ah,
like that. You will learn a lot. I think deployment happens now. I think deployment should happen. I think because everything is a tick here, right? So I think
mhm.
everything should be sorted. So let me just refresh the screen. No problem. I can create that once again. That's not an issue. Deployment is in progress. Oh, cluster monitoring matrices and everything. So it will take time for sure. Oh, deployment done, people.
Done.
So you guys are lucky.
So,
You guys are lucky today. So let's just go to that command and get the credentials. So since I'm in the AKS, CLI and everything, so everything is sorted from my side. So I think it's here. So let me just go to a new terminal and I do that. So we tested it out. AZCLI is working. So let me just show you one more thing. LS, if I do, there is cloud drivers. If I do CD cloud drivers, it will be there. If I do LS, it will not show me anything because it's proprietary to them, right?
okay.
So so generally, what we do for pasting is Control Shift C and Control Shift V for cut, copy, paste. Even here, you do the same. You do the same thing here. So I think it's already been downloaded and it's already there. So I need not have to worry about it. So let me just go to that cluster control. Oh, sorry for that. I need to go to the this one. So it's cd dot dot. I go to this and I do clear. It goes vanishes. I do Control Shift C, Control
Uh,
Shift V. Wait.
Viswas, we have a question from Sagar.
Yeah,
AWS
yeah.
versus Azure, which one is better for hosting?
It's a con. It's a controversial thing, but I will answer you that question. Not an issue. Azure is
Mhm.
also good. AWS is also good. It depends on how skilled is your entire team is. If your
Yeah.
team is skilled with what do you call with AWS, go ahead with AWS. I don't care about it. If your team is Azure scaled, go with Azure. So I did this command and it's merged now. So it's been connected to me. And I can go to this entire thing and you
Con.
guys will see that. Yeah, CD that, CD to that, and CD this. Oh, okay, it will not come, but it will be there on your entire thing. So if I do this, it will be there. But if it was on my local system, I could have done it directly for you folks. Don't worry about that.
Mhm.
So if I do kubectl get node, what's happening here is very simple. It's now interacting with the Kubernetes cluster that we just deployed, and it's saying how many nodes have been created. Just give me the list of it. It now gives
Okay.
me the list of all the nodes that have been created, and everything will be given as an information here. So of
What are
course,
nodes here? Like,
wait, I think I have a LinkedIn message which will say you about that. I think not a LinkedIn message, by the way. It's a LinkedIn sketches that I do. It's called as Azure sketches that I do. Like I can show you
article?
that. It's not an article. Sketches that I do.
Okay.
Wait, I'll show you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hashtag Azure Sketches
Okay, just check
EC.
it out, all
So
of
check it
you.
out, guys. I do a lot of things like this, so people love me for that.
Amazing,
So
yes.
yeah,
So I will really,
takes time, man. It takes a lot of time to do it. So I think it should be there in this thing. It takes a lot of time, dude. It doesn't happen in a day. Got it? Takes a lot of time, man. Sometimes I spend 8 days or 9 days just studying that. I think
a lot of knowledge is there.
in
And so,
my hashtags. So yeah, I think I can give you that in the stream yard. I think
yeah.
this is the hashtag. Follow me, folks. Give me some traction in the market because I can't keep my bachas hungry, right? Wait for that. I've done so many, dude. I've done for Thanos, Dapper also I've done, right? I've only forgotten where are all these sketches. So yeah,
So
I
many
do a
skills.
yeah, of course, man. I'm doing it from past 6 months. So this is the
Nice.
one. So Kubernetes. You guys were asking, right? So let me just grab
Hmm.
this image. So what is a node is nothing but there will be a pod created. There will be a container runtime which will be created. Container runtime is like the Docker build that I did with that IP is just
Hmm.
happening on your local system. That's it. What is getting access to here will be getting access to here, and there'll be system services, there will be etcd pipelines, and everything will be separate here. And of course you will be having a load balancer to manage all the load and distribute to different nodes of computation. So a node is
Hmm.
nothing but a computational unit at the end of the day which does all the orchestration, all the traffic balancement and everything. So this is what a node is all about. So a
Okay.
simple thing. So you guys can go check out this. I think you guys can check out this entire thing. So let me just do the tiny.cc. Let me just do a tiny URL. Kubernetes Vishwas. Vishwas. So it's here. So it's there are some shortest things. So you guys can go check it out and give me
So
some time. I'll
these
just give
guys.
you this Azure sketches
Hash-
also follow, guys, so that I get a lot of traction in the LinkedIn. So yeah, this is what it is. So nodes are nothing but that computational unit that is just being there as an independent unit which does all the
Okay.
orchestration and which does all the loading and everything. So this is what I was
Hmm.
talking about. So right now we got that, I think so. I think we got that. See, now you got all the nodes which are there from the AKS cluster. It's now ready to be built and everything is sorted for you. So now very simple, just copy this entire YAML code, put it in that entire repository. So code dot dot, if you do, it will open a VS Code stuff. So save it, saying that, hey, what should be the name for that? I need to build that, right? So I need to, so I'll keep this as the name of it. So I saved it. File saver quit. Oh God, what happened?
Uh, we
Unable to
have.
save Azure.ml. I did that home, right? So that's why home didn't come up. So
Hmm.
cd home that I did. So cd dot dot I can do. Oh,
Okay.
since cd
Hmm.
dot dot, I think I can do clear here. I think uh
Hmm.
is I think I can do code dot dot right now, and I can see I can't do that because I need to copy this again. So I think I will do this here. I'll save it. And I'll save it as this.
Define Azure.
So I think if you can see my other sessions on Prometheus and okay, it's not working. Okay,
Hmm.
let's do Nano or something.
Yeah, we can use Nano for the Brahmastra
Nano,
cat is there.
yeah, Nano, this thing. Yeah, like we know different hacks for it, folks. Not to worry.
Yeah.
So I think I can save it. I can escape it or recording a macro. What the frick? So Control X is here. So I think I can do nano. Control X, I did it. Perfect. So I can do
Okay.
ls. Okay, now it's there. Perfect. So now let's just do this entire get thing once again. So you will get to know what is happening here. So my cluster is this one. My resource group is this. Don't worry, it will take a lot of time when you are doing a demo. And by the way, this was not supposed to be my session. I came
Devasham.
unprepared. Yeah, somebody else is. I'm doing it. So bear with me.
No problem. We are going in a good direction. We are getting introduced to the DevOps
Different.
topics here, Kubernetes and all the
It's not a
topics.
DevOps topic, by the way. DevOps is different. DevOps is different. So don't worry about that. So now I am applying and everything is sorted. Oh God, mashallah, it got done. See that? I just
Yeah.
created an entire cluster for you guys. So now let's just do an access for that. So get services, Azure Word, that will be the namespace and everything. There'll be some advanced topics, okay? So we need some time for that and all. But now you guys go and hit on this IP. This IP
Okay.
is global and it will start working no matter what. So wait for that. Cluster
Uh,
IP is not an accessible one, but you guys can go access this IP. I don't know why my system is very slow. I think so, probably. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, sir,
yeah.
AWS versus Azure, कुछ भी कर लो भाई, पैसा कमाना है. Got it.
Yeah.
AWS Azure कुछ भी कर लो, कोई बात नहीं. Yeah, see, now the
Azure.
application is running, right? This was the
Yeah.
application that they showed here, and now we have deployed it for the global thing. So you guys can go check out this IP. Click on the cats, docs, reset. If you do, it will just go to 0, 0. Cats, I can hit 100 times. It will be like this only. So I can hit on cat, 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 dog, dog, dog. So how many ever times I had hit that, it was being there. So if I just reset it, it will just get resetted. So that's perfect, folks. That's the way that you scale an application. Like everything, number of hits, everything will be taken care of. I can show you that as well. So since I have already deployed it, so it will, even if I remove this entire thing, like let me just say I do Control C here, as I remove this, probably this will stop working. No, it didn't stop working. Mashallah, it's good. So you can see that CPU has been used this much, memory has been used this much, network byte, how much has been
Yeah.
transferred and everything.
Yeah.
Everything is given to you in hand. Like you guys can go deploy it at any given point. Everything will start working.
All the
So
data is available.
yeah, this is how you scale the models, right? And simple hack, if you are a very newbie and you want to start with it, the commands are already there for you here. So you can go click on this connect thing, will give you all the things here. Okay.
Yeah.
And of course, if you are an guy who wants everything on your local system, Azure CLI is always there for you. You can download that CLI and just go rock and rumble with all the commands which is happening. You just have to do AZ login and everything will be sorted for you. That's it. Installing Windows, it's there. You guys can go install the latest version CLI. Just log in with it. AZ login is the command. Just do that. It will be sorted.
Yeah.
So I think that's it from my side, folks. This is an introduction to cloud and brief. There's a lot to be coming up. So if you want, there's Azure machine learning as well. So similar way, you will have an access to all different compute and everything. There's service fabrics and everything. So make sure that you follow us completely. So scenario of that banking system, how can we do that? Very simple. So you have an entire package. I think you can stop the share screen.
Yeah.
So scenario of that software project, how it works. So you have that banking system, you have deployed all the code, you have a shiny looking website and everything. So now you deploy it on a web app or something, everything will be sorted to you. Now, okay, you go nuts like me and you are like, I want to run it on containers. So containers, how can you do it? So now when you have an access for all these containers, what you do is you do require package it all, you just throw it in some container registry and you start working towards how to deployment. ACI will be there. Next,
Yeah.
what next? You have the same old container registry file which is storing all the Docker hub and all the images. What you do
Yeah.
is you have a Kubernetes here, throw it inside
Okay.
that YAML file, and you are sorted for it. And that's it, folks. I think in next session, I think Hare Krishna just host me one more session. I'll give
Yeah.
an introduction to Azure CLI with some web
Mhm.
apps, static web apps, and Azure web apps, so that we can go ahead with it.
Okay.
So
So, Fox, thank you so much, Biswas, for this amazing overview of all the Azure portal and all. The funniest moment was this cat and dog portal, which we did completely like voting app.
yeah, voting app, yeah, like hota hai,
Yeah.
like it's already there, right? The code has been already there. Somebody has already
Yeah.
deployed it from the
Documentation
Microsoft.
is like, uh,
Documentation is the key, people. So this is how you do it. This is how you do it. Like
yeah.
scaling part comes when you have an hits per second, which is in terms of like 1,000 hits per second and things like that.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. So connect with me on LinkedIn. So I will share my LinkedIn as well. So it's LinkedIn name. You guys can connect with me and you can ask any doubts. I can give you as much as an overview I can
Also,
give.
like the session and subscribe the Azure Developer Community YouTube channel and Reskill Technology, so that you can get updates about our uh, other communities are
Webinars and
also
everything.
other
Yeah.
communities are also doing to efforts and all, so you can get all the updates.
Yeah, you can get some goodies also. So join there. No, definitely.
Yeah,
So you'll get some goodies. So perfect, folks. Perfect. So log in to me with LinkedIn. So perfect from my side. Yes, brother.
Lakshit is there. So
Thank you, Prachi. Love the spirit. So tell all your friends to subscribe to my channel. So
Lakshit,
I do an
you
awesome
are on mute,
podcast
I
with.
think.
So I do an awesome
Okay,
podcast
okay,
with
I'm sorry, I'm
many
sorry.
DevOps professionals.
Guys, we have a last announcement. So do join our Discord channel. We have a 20, on 26th of January, we have a Azure Developer Quiz where we will give Microsoft goodies to top 10 winners to the quiz participants. Yesterday, there was a quiz scheduled where top 3 winners got their swags. Already, it's time for you to claim your swags. So do join the Azure Developer group. We have multiple things to give you, some exciting swags and all these things, and some fun learnings and a lot of engagement. So do join the Azure Developer Discord group. We have a lot of things to share.
I need to
And
endorse
Viswas,
myself.
Grab this.
of course, like Viswas, are always here to help you out. Okay.
Yep.
So
And also
thank you for
subscribe to my
joining. Thank you so
channel
everyone. Thank you, Hare Krishna,
where
for
I
hosting the
do.
session.
Wait, I want to endorse myself. Subscribe to my channel. I do an amazing podcast with amazing professionals from different company in the field of DevOps and cloud computing. So do that. I'm very close to 1,000 subscribers. So hit me the subscribe button.
Yes, do subscribe Viswas because he is an amazing guy I ever met. So do subscribe his channel.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys. Thank you for
Yeah,
everything. See you
folks.
there.
That
Bye
was all from
bye.
my side.